Okay, good evening, everybody. We'll go ahead and call to order the Planning Development Zoning Commission meeting for February the 10th. We'll start with roll call. Ryan Miller, that's me. Kyle Moraskin.
Here.
Marianne Atkinson.
Here.
Kenneth Haynes.
Here.
Christy Kennard.
Here.
Dolores Martin.
Here.
And William Richardson.
Here.
Excellent. If I can get everybody to stand for the pledge, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any public comment cards for anything other than the public hearing? No? Okay. Figure out paperwork, so we good. Okay, I have a staff presentation on the public hearing before we get to the public hearing. Okay.
Hi, good evening. Today we have a proposed rezone that covers approximately 12.6 acres of the southwest corner of Croy and Del Bello Road, currently zoned as open single-family residential. The applicant, representing the owner, plans to subdivide the site for multiple retail developments, including a gas station and a convenience store on 1.27 acre tract, rezoning to light commercial with a specific use permit. It's required for this proposed use. Surrounding areas include vacant land to the south and residential properties to the east and west, while properties across Croy Road lie within the city ETJ and include single-family homes, duplex, and a possible commercial. The applicant proposes a mixed retail development subdivided into 5 tracts with 3.8 acres portion allocated for a septic spray field. The gas station and convenience store would be located at the prominent intersection of Croy and Del Bello Road. Both streets are designated as a 120-foot wide parkway in the city's major thoroughfare plan, highlighting the city's strategic importance. Currently, there is no gas station within the 2-mile radius inside the city limits, but there is some outside of the city limits. The zoning ordinance outlines criteria of the specific use permits, which staff has used to assess this proposed. At the time of writing this report, no information inquiries had been received, and staff was not aware of oppositions. There has been some emails for opposition received today. Some positive aspects we found on this proposal has been there are no gas stations within the 2-mile radius in the city limits, indicating a service gap for nearby residents. This development can provide nearby residents with more convenient access to fuel and essential items. We also found strategic location of commercial growth. The site is at intersection of Croy and Del Bello Road, both designated for major thoroughfares in the city's plan. This makes a property well suited for commercial in the future as the area continues to grow. It may also attract additional commercial investment in the surrounding area, improving property values along with the term. Some key issues to be considered for this proposal is that traffic impact analysis is needed to assess more how the project will affect the traffic flow of Del Bello and Croy roads. These roads are designated for major thoroughfare, but will require improvement to support increased traffic from the commercial development. Neighborhood compatibility, the area is currently predominantly residential, which raises concern about noise, light, and traffic. However, the concerns can be addressed through enhanced landscaping, fencing, and limiting operating hours. The utility drainage, the site does not currently have access to city water or sewer services. The applicant proposes using a water well and septic system, but the detail of drainage study is necessary to ensure the development won't create flooding or runoff issues. The site's location at the intersection of the major thoroughfare supports its transition to commercial designation. However, since the street and other infrastructure improvements have not been made in this area, rezoning to allow commercial use must be carefully considered. Due to absence of traffic impact analysis, preliminary drainage analysis, and other site plan details discussed above, staff is not able to provide a recommendation for this request rezoning to open single family to light commercial with an SUP to allow a gasoline station with a convenience store.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Then I guess we'll move on to our public hearing then. And so I'll open that here. To hear input from the public regarding an ordinance of the City of Manvel, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the city by amending the zoning classification of approximately 12.5056 acres located at the southwest corner of the intersection of Croy Road and Del Bello Road in Manvel, Texas, from open single-family residential district to light commercial district with specific use permits, providing for the granting of a specific use permit with conditions to authorize the use of the property for NAICS code 447110 gasoline stations with convenience stores, providing for the amendment of the city's official zoning map, providing for severability, providing for a penalty in an amount not to exceed $2,000 for each day of violation of any provision hereof. So we will open the public hearing at 6:07. If I can, I'm going to have read off some names here from people that have sent in some stuff in advance. I know many of you are actually here, so if you'd like to come up and speak at that time, then we'll do that, and then we'll take anybody that's not already on my list here. If I can get, when you come up to the podium, if you can just state your name and your address for the record, and if you can just limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Okay, so up first I have Angela Vickerman.
Hi, my name is Angela Vickerman. My address is 6003 Del Bello Lane, and I am here opposed to the potential zoning change for the property at the corner of Croy and Del Bello Road. Although you have pictures of the surrounding area in your agenda packet, I brought this aerial photo because I think it really gives you a better feel for how the area looks today. First of all, I would like to give kudos to the city for being so forward-thinking and putting the zoning regulations into place so that you can make the most appropriate use of the land. With that goal in mind, I want to say that this proposed zoning change really just doesn't make sense with this development. As you know, and as you can see in the photo, this area is really residential or agricultural. The current lanes are 2-lane asphalt roads, and if you were to zoom in on that picture, you would actually see at the corner, you can see the repair of the street that was recently done. There were some potholes in the road, and I think that's really coming from the cross-through traffic from 288. So what that does is really show you just how tenuous the roads are if you have any level of increased traffic. So if the developer comes in and improves the roads that border this property, that's great. But who's going to take care of the roads that lead up to it? I think that's something to be considered also. As it relates to whether this development fills an existing need, I would suggest that it does not. I know it's probably not in the city's jurisdiction, but there is a brand new gas station on 58. And if you measure it from point to point, which I believe is what it says in the zoning regulations, it's right at 2 miles. So even if it's out of the city's jurisdiction, I think you need to consider the close proximity of that gas station, because really the local residents do have a readily available gas station that they can go to and fuel up and get their basic needs met. And although the property's location does sit at a future key intersection, it's really not a key intersection today. It's illogical and contrary, I think, to the goals of the city to put a gas station on these types of roads right in the middle of multi-acreage land and hayfields. The proposed development plan is really just not compatible with the current character of the neighborhood or the desires of the residents. And I think sometimes we can be overlooked a little bit because we're not in a master plan community. We kind of keep to ourselves. We don't demand a whole lot of stuff from the city. But we do pay taxes, we do vote, and we do have a voice. So at some point in the future, this development might make sense, but it doesn't right now, and it doesn't right here. So thank you for your time, and thank you for your service to the city.
Thank you very much. Okay. This is Damian Vickerman.
I'll just say which.
One ditto, okay.
That's two.
Two dittos. Okay. Alexandria Smith. No? Okay. So I'll just go ahead and read this into the record in summary. Strong opposition to the rezoning for Allie McMillan. Okay. Anita Boyd. No? Okay. This one is also opposed. Jennifer Rhodes. No, okay. They are opposed. Wendell Rhodes is opposed. Jean, it says Chesson. No. Okay, they are opposed. Joan Kennedy. They are opposed. Angie or Marvin Schedule. They are opposed. Christina Heilman. They are opposed. Joe Adams. They are opposed. Roger Stoddard. They are opposed. Phyllis Manson. Okay, they are opposed. Ryan Del Bello. Would you like to say anything or just?
I can't add much more than Angela did.
Okay. And just to be clear, he was opposed. Ed or Christina Campbell? No. They are opposed. Brian Nami? Okay. They are opposed. Michael Petru? No, okay. That is 4706 Spears Road. They are opposed. Deanna Young, Stansfield Young. Would you like to say anything or okay?
I'm opposed as well.
Okay, opposed. Keith and Vera Armstrong. No, okay. They are opposed. Alexis Dobello. No. They are opposed. Okay, that's all of them. So I will open up the floor to anybody else that would like to make a comment. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is David Headley. I live at 3951 Del Bello Road. So I pretty invested in the community here. I own multiple properties and a business here in the area. I live here, work here, kids go to school here. I know there's going to be a lot of kind of knee-jerk reaction to most of the people in the community of growth and more change and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a problem all the time that you guys have to deal with. I don't think that this is one of those issues. That area will get developed over time, but I can save you a lot of money on your traffic impact study. It's horrendous. It's already bad. You don't need to do anything other than just go drive there around 4:30 in the afternoon, between 4:30 and 6, anytime in the morning. It's bad. Between the size of the lanes, the lighting, the ditches, it's bad. One other thing that we're fighting now that may not show up in anything, all of our phone apps, Waze, Apple Maps, Google Maps, all those things, I see it every day. Coming 288 south towards Croy, you see a lot of people, it's a relief valve for 288 to Highway 6. The phones will tell you, this is where you need to get off now. It'll save you 1 minute. On your drive. So they all duck out, and you can tell they've never been there before. They don't know what they're doing. They're whipping their heads around, cutting across traffic, and they're just taking the exit because that's where their phone's telling them where to go. It's not going to be good to have any other development over there for quite a while. Those roads need a lot of work. There needs to be a lot of change in that area before you can support anything commercial anywhere nearby. It's just a bad idea. We've got Oakcrest right there, the manufactured homes and all that area there. You're going to get people walking then to go to those convenience stores and everything else. You've got the little school thing there. You've got senior living facility right there. If you start adding foot traffic on top of the vehicles and everything else, you got kids on bikes. There's no telling what's going to go down at that street corner. It's already a mess. You guys need to look at that from a totally different perspective already, because my kids driving to school, I'm surprised there's not more accidents there already. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to see. All the overgrowth of the brush and everything. It's bad. So I don't have a lot of prepared statements other than to say this is not a good idea. Hopefully you guys can go look at it and just drive through there. It'll happen over time, but it needs a lot more time. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Okay, who else?
Hello, my name is Prince Sanchez at residency at 5990 Del Bello Road, Manvel, Texas. I came to speak about the gas station because it would make excess traffic, noise pollution, highway trash, speeding, and a disruption of agricultural life. The building company's best interest is not in the surrounding land or communities. Its plan is to be purely financially, and the location is solely it. There's plenty of gas stations in Manvel's non-residential areas. Us, the residentials, have to travel too. They may too choose to locate there and keep Manvel being the county town feeling without the city noise pollution. Cars tend to speed up as well, so yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I see a hand. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name's Tyler Ponder. I live at 4700 Curry Road here in Manvel. We've lived at the residence for over 4 years now, but my wife grew up here. Their family moved here in the late 70s. We're currently opposed to the changing in zoning to allow the building of this gas station. Though we realize that the area is going to continue to develop over the next 5-10 years, we currently want to see improvements in the infrastructure as listed earlier before we see commercial properties introduced into the community. There's currently no traffic or impact study, and this is already a dangerous intersection. Myself has been involved in the wreck there when somebody drove in front of that stop sign right there at the intersection. The Gaddis Shack residence that 58 dead ends to right there, his residence has been hit before, and he's currently got ruts in his yard from when people move into that, go past that and into his property. There was a packet showed that there was currently no gas stations within that 2-mile radius. However, there are 3 gas stations not listed on that. One at Colin and Bailey, and then in front of Sedona Lakes, there are 2 gas stations all within that 2-mile radius. So the need is not actually there as it says in the packet. In addition to this, again, we already brought up gas stations cause foot traffic, and we're concerned that the roads are already bad right there. I'm a fireman. I go on these kind of accidents all the time. We don't need that at that intersection. My boys are 16. They're driving. I don't need them getting in accidents at that intersection as well. The site plan has a septic field and detention pond, but I'm not sure what the requirements are going to be for that septic field and detention pond. Is there going to be any kind of impact into the septic field leaching into that detention pond, and that detention pond then leaching into the wastewater? And finally, with it being light commercial, concern, is it going to be sprinklered? What kind of fire codes are we going to be requiring them to abide by? Do they have plans for that in place, et cetera? So that's all I have to say. Again, opposed. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Angela Smith, and I live at 4718 Curry. And my husband and I bought our first 5 acres in 1976, but we bought 3 more adjoining properties, which include 20 acres right at that intersection where the gas station will be if it is built. So we are opposed to that gas station, primarily for what everyone has already said. But we moved from an apartment in downtown Houston to Manvel, 45 years ago, and we moved for the quietness and to get away from crime. And we're just really not looking forward to a gas station so near our home and what that might bring. And I also just wanted to emphasize, over those 45 years that we've lived here, there's just been so many horrible accidents that we've witnessed. One of them was a fatality, and that sticks in my mind, the horrible accidents that we've seen. And I don't want to see more and more traffic coming because of this gas station. And like the others have said, the infrastructure is not in place. The roads are dangerous. Those 2 S-curves, the crumbling asphalt and so forth, it's just not safe at this point. So that's my input, pretty much what has already been said. We appreciate the opportunity to express our opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I have any more comment? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Akila Amos. I live at 4718 Del Bello Road. You can actually see my house, probably not in this picture, but the one that Dan Davis posted in the group. I'm looking at it from a totally different perspective. Of course, I agree with everything else that everyone else has said, but the one thing that I really love about my house, about this area, about living here, is really the birds and the sky. And every morning, I get up, I get my coffee. We bought acreage for a reason. We bought acreage because we like the tranquility, we like the peace, we like the quiet. I don't know any neighborhood that just wants to have a gas station just right there, but I've become a bird person. I love seeing the birds. I love seeing the robins, the cardinals, the woodpeckers. It's so many birds in the area, and I just love to see them. And I know that actually all that fluorescent lighting and all that has a really big impact on the migration of the birds, how they eat, how they travel, where they go. I don't want to see that affected. The second thing that I like to see is the stars at night. We have such a clear view of the stars at night because you know why? There are no street lights. There are no street lights over there. There's no lighting. You get isn't that what Manvel is supposed to be about? Of course, it's rural, and of course, it's going to grow. Of course, I should say, well, our part is rural, where we are. Of course, you have neighborhoods and communities, but I think we're pretty special in the fact that we have our own little community within a city that's growing, and that's something that I don't want to see. Also, I grow a lot of plants. I grow a lot of herbs. It's part of my business. It's part of what I do. I'm really concerned about a gas station actually being built, and how that's actually going to affect the soil and the ground. Not only that, most of us, I think all of us, are on wells. How exactly does that affect our well water? And I have no interest in joining city water. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't. But I would be so concerned to have a gas station right there that could potentially leak into the water that we use for eating, for drinking, for bathing, for our animals. I know we care a lot about the dogs in the city, but I want you guys to also think about the bees, the birds, the stars, all of those things, all right? So, no, oppose, in case you didn't get the message. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have any more comments? Okay. Hand in the back there.
Somebody thought of something.
Hey, I'm Leslie Burkhead. I live at 6336 Del Bello Road. Sorry, I didn't have anything prepared. But I can tell you that I'm opposed to it, but everybody in our area truly loves Manvel. And we're not just here for a year or two, like we're long timers. And we just love the area and don't really want it to change. And I know that change is coming, but I feel like we truly have Manvel's best interest. And I just pray that you would reconsider and no to the gas station. But we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Second call for comments.
Amen.
And final call for comments. Okay, we'll close this public hearing at 6:27. Okay. On to the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of, what was it, 6 items tonight. Approve a 6-month extension for preliminary plat for Valencia Section 12. Approve Meridiana Section 13B preliminary plats. Approve a final plat for Meridiana Section 26B. Approve a final plat for Meridiana Section 31B. Approve a final plat for Detention Reserve W for Meridiana. And approving our meeting minutes from the last meeting. Does anybody have anything they want to pull out? Nope. Motion? Approve. Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously 7-0. Okay. Regular agenda, first item up, consideration and possible action to approve final plat for Meridiana Section 82 Detention Reserve. Who'd like to tell us about that?
Good evening. This proposed plat is for a detention facility within Meridiana development. The subject site is part of Brazoria County Utility District Number 57 and CNR 3. The proposed plat subdivides about 43-acre tract into one block and 4 reserves. The proposed site at the northwest corner of Meridiana Parkway and Cruiser Road includes a portion of Bissell Road to the north, which was abandoned in 2024. The proposed plat generally conforms to the approved preliminary plat. City staff recommends approval of this plat with 3 conditions. Provide a letter of no objection from GCWA. Second condition is provide an approved construction plan for Cruiser Road. And third item is about some revisions are required regarding the accurate labeling of the floodplain zone. Do you have any question?
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? Okay. Somebody have a motion then?
Motion to approve with the 3 conditions.
And all those in favor with 3 conditions? Motion carries unanimously 7-0. Okay. Okay, agenda item B, consideration and possible action to approve and forward with recommendation to City Council ordinance number 2025-0-04, which is going to be for the gas station at Del Bello and Croy. We had our presentation on that already. I know that y'all have, the staff doesn't have a recommendation because of some missing information. So, I think we'll do questions and then, I think
I don't think we have enough information to go forward.
and that may be the case. I think if you think it's something you want to explore further, then we need to get more information, like you said.
There's no traffic study. So
Right.
why would you do that? The road needs to be improved, so you need to address that. And drainage improvements, nothing has been addressed.
Correct.
I have one other question that really probably goes to Bobby, because this
Go
is
ahead.
back when we used to do a lot of things. Does this fall in the spot zoning stuff?
Well, larger acreage and with a lot of high density around it. I mean, it falls back to your comp plan. Like they said, right now, it's probably not compatible with the surrounding land use, but does the comp plan have that as an area targeted for economic development and growth and to become like commercial? That would be important to see where that falls on the comp plan. If the comp plan doesn't say anything, then you kind of fall back to generally how is it compatible with the surrounding land use?
Thank you.
So when you look at the long-term, the thoroughfare plan that we have in place, I mean, you do see this as a place of development in the future, but I mean, we're nowhere near that at this point, right? So do we have
Well,
like,
the thoroughfare plan is regarding the road as a thoroughfare.
right,
But that doesn't necessarily mean it still wouldn't be residential versus
Right.
commercial. That would be going to the comp plan, which is actually under review right now as well.
But
But I
that could
think
be
they-
10, 15, 20 years from now, right?
Well, yeah, but it has to be at least start being on the comp plan usually.
right.
Yeah, because
the-
the roads there definitely are not, they're not even roadworthy for cars hardly. So I agree with everything that they're saying. That area is not ready for something like that at all. There's
And-
no sidewalks, so they're
Well,
right about that.
That can be a condition of
No, we're too far.
of moving forward of, how much road development needs to happen, traffic studies, drainage plans, all those things. So just keep that in mind.
There's a terrific amount that needs to be done before you jump in.
The problem is we've got to wait for the DOT to do something on the roads,
Right.
correct? Or is the city going to do the roads?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe the city will, so it'd be the DOT and
So Bobby, typically, we would see generally the property owner that abuts the road would improve it, correct?
Well, when plating, you'd have the perimeter roads to do, yeah.
Yeah, but since that's on our ETJ perimeter, then the other half of the road would then fall to whose?
But we still plat in the ETJ though, too. So if the other side gets developed, if the other undeveloped side on the other side of the road gets developed, when they go to develop, they would have to do the other half. And then there's escrow arrangements, because obviously you might not want to do half a street at one time, so the city might just get the money escrowed, and when the other guy goes to do it, then they would do the whole thing. So that's all handled adequately by the, what we have in place when they actually go to plat. But this is just really about land use right now and what's compatible. And I don't know if you know what's on the comp plan for that area right now, if there is anything that shows commercial. If not, it might be needing to stay residential until that changes on the comp plan.
Because at the moment, that whole area is open, single-family, correct?
Correct.
I travel that road quite a bit, and I would be uncomfortable moving forward with something like this at this time.
Then are there more questions or?
If you want, applicant is here,
Okay.
because I think she has presentation for us.
Yep.
Yeah, if you have something, please. Kill us with information.
Where was she when we needed it?
So lots of opposition here today. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm the applicant, not the.
If I can get you to just press the button on the mic there.
There you go.
Oh.
They did
It's
it
on.
for-
Oops. Yeah. There you
Is
go.
that it?
It's on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit about myself. I'm actually working on behalf of the people that are going to be developing it. And part of what I do is come in and make sure before we ever even close on a property that we know the city is okay with what we're doing. If not, we move on to other projects. In doing that, I do a lot of research. So I've already talked to Drainage District, County. We've discussed the roads, the possibility of a need for a traffic light. So we look at everything going into it because obviously all the concerns that were brought up today, we want to make sure that those are addressed properly across the board. So I've even taken notes because when we go back and look at this, I look through my notes and we make plans to address all of those things. Of course, there's a lot of city and county things that we'll have to work on because one road is a county road and one road is a city road. And both the city and the county have different requirements. So we look to meet all of those requirements, including sidewalks and things like that. Now, that's not going to help further down the road. It'll help that immediate vicinity and car accidents and things like that that have been brought up. The other thing is we know just from doing all the development I've done over 20 years in this business that the development is coming that way. So my goal is always to make sure that when we know that it's coming, that we can have a good relationship and make it be something that the community they want in that area. So this would be a phased process. I know in the site plan, we broke out different sections of it. The first section being a convenience store. This is more convenience store than gas station. They really do plant themselves in communities. We have other ones. This is an example of a bigger one. This one is in Iowa Colony in Meridiana. And now this one's bigger than this particular site would be because they have a lot more pumps. Meridiana's huge. But this particular developer, they always go into community areas because they don't rely on gas sales. They rely on those convenience store, easy access, providing things to the community. They're more clean, upscale style. And it would be something that while we know development's coming anyway, start small, and then later on, if we need those future pad sites, then those can be developed. The other thing as far as drainage and things like that, those drainage studies are about $50,000 to $75,000 for the engineers to do. So obviously we don't come here with that ready yet. If they're approved, then we'd move forward with that. This property's never been platted, so we would have to plat. We'd have to do everything that the city requires when we plat. So we are looking at that. We've talked with the county and the city about road conditions and what might need to be made better in that process. Also, the idea of a traffic light because of that. That being said, none of their locations ever draw new traffic. They draw off of existing traffic. So it wouldn't be new traffic coming to the area. It'd be the traffic that's already coming through. So our goal would be to make sure that whatever traffic is already coming through, that it is a safe place on that corner of the road, knowing that it's going to be a major thoroughfare eventually. The other thing that I noticed was as far as the septic and fire code and all of that, being on well and septic because the utilities aren't there yet. They're not too far away, but they're just not there yet. There is a plan for having the water storage for sprinklers and all of that, especially if it's a larger store over 5,000 square feet. That would be a requirement of it. So we are aware of all the requirements for fire. As far as septic goes, we would follow all that needed to be followed with that and environmental and doing the environmental studies. Gas stations have a lot of red tape when it comes to those environmental studies and the requirements there. So, I mean, all of that we've planned on addressing. I've made extensive notes here so that we can go back and look at all of that. And the goal is to make sure that if the development's coming anyway and commercial is slated to be somewhere in that area, being a major thoroughfare, that, the community has some say and we work with the community on what they want to see.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Does anybody have any questions for our guest?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said it was more geared towards not gasoline. Is it like a grocery store then, instead of a convenience store, or?
No.
I'm just trying to get the words right here, because we all think it's a gas station.
I know. So being in commercial real estate, we call it a C-store, where they really are there for the community and the convenience of being able to go get eggs or milk or anything that they don't want to go, to a big grocery store to get. Also, the closest gas station within that 2-mile radius, we've got one across the highway and one that's kind of off in the ETJ. So this would be something where, yes, you can get gas there, yet that's not the purpose. They don't even, this particular developer that I work with, they usually go into communities and they seek out spots. Like we've got one on Lake Olympia Parkway. We've got them all over the state pretty much, but we seek out spots that are residential areas because that's really what they cater to. And they want nicer, looking stores, cleaner stores, more items in the store versus relying on like being on a highway and just getting constant people in there for gas.
Okay. What other questions? No other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
It's got a lot of worries written right over it.
I agree, we just don't have enough information.
Yeah, and like I've seen, the one that she's talking about that's in Iowa Colony, I drive past that one every day, and it's literally right there in the middle of the neighborhood, in the midst of a really large neighborhood that's just now getting that commercial development. Right there by Jackie Caffey Junior High is where that is, I think. And, it's not even open yet. They're building it, and it looks really nice, I agree, but you've already got kind of the people there and all that, but this is just, it's just not there.
So the question is,
infrastructure is in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The streets and everything.
No, nothing is
road
here.
in, and the ditches and the drainage and.
Yeah, but nothing is here. This
No.
is just, this is still pasture land.
so do we want to ask the staff to come up with a list of requirements that we would think to make this happen, or do we want to make a decision
I don't
tonight?
think you can make it happen.
No, not at the present. You can't make anything without all these studies to see if it will even work. You're putting the cart before the horse.
But even if you do the studies without the roads,
It's not going to work.
that's the worst road in the world right now. I was behind a big rig today
I know.
on 58, and I don't even know how he made the turn.
He prayed.
Well, he almost hit the car on the other side, I can tell you that.
understand.
So then, do I have a motion then?
Is this a positive, negative?
Correct. Remember, Robert's Rules of Orders prefers positive motion, so you need a motion and a second to at least get the item before the governing body here, and then you can vote for or against it. And if you make the motion or the second, you do not have to vote for your motion or second. That's just to get it before the body.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance,
A second.
regular agenda item B.
Okay, and all those in favor? And all opposed? Motion fails 027. Okay, last item up is going to be consideration and possible action to direct staff to provide applicants written statements of the conditions for any conditional approvals and the reasons for disapproval of any plans or plats that were not approved per Texas Local Government Code 212.0091. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
And second?
Second.
And all in favor? And motion passes unanimously. And I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
She's quick on that one.
And then all in favor, please. 7-0, thankfully. Okay.
Hey, that's all right.
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight, for participating. We hope you have a great evening. And this will be before City Council.
Is it go to
Tuesday?
This will be city council when, Tuesday?
Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be Tuesday.
Monday's